Hi there, welcome to Mesh AI. Whether you're new to the system or you're just looking for a refresh on some of our scheduling features, I'm here to walk you through things to help you get started. Today, we'll be going through our main web platform as well as our app, available on iOS and Android. Today we'll be going through things like accessing and viewing your schedule, making requests, swapping shifts, and managing your user settings. Remember, at any time if you have a question, our customer support team is always available to chat. But for now, my name's Leanna, and I'll be walking you through this demo. If you're joining us for the first time, you've probably received an invite email from the Mesh AI system. Clicking the link in this email will allow you to join the team and create an account. You'll want to make sure you accept that team invitation in order to join your team or teams. For a normal login, I'd recommend bookmarking your team calendar, but you can also log in by searching up Mesh AI or going directly to www.meshai.io. From here, you can click the Sign In button in the top right corner to access your account. Today, we will be logging in as Joel and viewing things from his perspective. So let's get started. The first page you'll see upon logging in is your personal calendar. This displays only the shifts that have been assigned to you in any of the teams you are a member of. They'll all appear together here. If you've successfully accepted the invite to your team or organization, you will see that information appear in the left-hand bar of your calendar. Scrolling through the months now with these arrows, we can see the shifts for the upcoming weeks that are assigned to Joel. You can view the details of your shifts simply by clicking on them. Notice that you can also toggle the view of your calendar between timeline or week or regular calendar to whatever view suits you. In addition, you can sync your personal calendar in the Mesh AI system with your existing Google Calendar, Outlook, or iOS calendars by clicking the subscribe button seen here and following the on-screen instructions. Here in the left bar, we can see that Joel is a member of an organization called Gold Bay Hospital, which encompasses several smaller teams. Below your organization, you'll see the team list for which you are a member of. In this case, Joel is a member of a team called Demo Team. If we click on the Gold Bay Hospital organization, we will be taken to an organizational shift overview. This shows all the shifts across all teams in Gold Bay Hospital, even the ones we aren't a member of. The shift overview is a great way to keep track of where your coworkers are at any given time in the day. To see the schedule for the individual teams you are a part of, navigate back to your calendar and click on the team name in the left bar. For Joel, let's click on Demo Team. Once we've done this, we can now see all the shifts in the published schedules that are available to us in addition to our own. In the team calendar, we can also apply various filters. We can filter to specific members or specific jobs, and we can even save those filters for later use. Sometimes we might need either a printed version or a PDF or spreadsheet version of our schedule for external use. In this case, we can actually export our schedule from Mesh AI directly. To export our schedule, we can either leave the filters on or we can remove them. Either way, we would press the export button here and fill out the information we want to see in our exported file. From Mesh AI, you can export to a PDF or Excel spreadsheet format. Now let's take a look at making requests. To make a request for any of your teams, you'll first have to navigate back to your own schedule. Note that in order for requests to be considered by our auto-scheduler, they will have to be inputted before it runs. Making a request for your team after your admin has already published a schedule for that period will not change your assignments. At that point, you would just need to trade your shifts using the schedule bazaar. So, let's start by navigating to February to enter in Joel's vacation schedule ahead of time. That way, we know the admin for this team will have time to see and approve the request before they create the February schedule. To start a new request, drag your mouse over the date range or select the individual date that you want to make the request for. Let's do the third week in February. The first thing you'll see is the from and to dates. This essentially is just the days the request will occur on. Again, since we've already dragged our mouse over that days, we don't need to enter this, but you can change the dates here. You can also set the request to be specific times. If, for example, you wanted a week where you had every morning off, you can also do that by unchecking all day and entering in your required time. In this case, we'll leave the request as all day. Next, you'll see the team field. In our case, we only are a member of one team, so demo team is the default. However, if you're a member of multiple teams, you can select from that list here. This will control which teams your request appears in. Next, we have the request type. This is the default list that Mesh AI offers, but note that your team might have your own customized list of requests. You can discuss your request types with your scheduling admin. For this request, let's call it a vacation. This will mean we won't get scheduled for any shifts while we're on that vacation. Let's add a note. In this case, we'll just say something like I'm going to Hawaii. Note that you can set a note as a default if you want the same note to appear every time you make a request. But for now, we're happy with this, so we're going to go ahead and press submit. Once we do, we'll see the request appear in our schedule, but note that it says pending approval. This means that we have to wait for our admin to actually approve our request before it will be considered by the auto-scheduler. Looks like our request was approved. Now we can confidently know that this request will be considered next time our admin runs the auto-scheduler. Now let's see how to swap shifts by listing them in your team's bazaar. We call shifts in the bazaar deals, so we'll use that language going forward. Note that you can make shift deals right here in your own schedule or in your team's calendar. To start a new deal, find the shift you wish to swap and click on it. Once you do, you'll see the shift details and some buttons here at the bottom. To list the shift in the bazaar, hit Make Deal. From here, you can choose if you want to offer the shift up to anyone in your team or if you want to offer it to one person directly. In this case, let's find someone to offer our shift to. When you click on the first field here, you'll see a list of your teammates, each with an icon beside them. These icons represent how good a fit each member is for the shift you're offering, and it's making use of the recommendation engine that we offer. The blue thumbs up represents the best possible person for the role. The yellow thumbs down means you can offer your shift to them, but they probably aren't the best choice for that shift, as maybe they might be working a lot of shifts already in that period or something like that. Finally, the red exclamation mark means that that member is not able to work that shift due to either conflicts or qualification issues. We should avoid offering shifts to those who cannot work them. Here, let's offer the shift to Dr. Evans, as they are a good choice for this day as indicated by the blue thumbs up. You can also leave a note when you're offering your shift to someone else, or you can leave that field blank. We'll just say something simple like, "Can you take this shift?" Once we've created the deal, you'll be prompted with the option to view your shift bazaar where the deal is listed. Your bazaar can also be accessed by clicking the drop-down beside your name in the top right corner or navigating to the Bazaar tab on top of your calendar. Once in the bazaar, you will see both your current deals and shifts available to be taken. Here, Joel's current deal is the night call shift we just offered to Dr. Evans. Note that the only option here is cancel deal, as you can cancel the deal before someone picks it up if you realize you can work that shift after all. You cannot pick up your own deal from the bazaar. Now, let's try offering a shift up to anyone. Here, when we hit Make Deal, we can just leave both fields blank as opposed to filling them out like we did before. When we return to our bazaar this time, we can see the new deal listed. This time, it's just being shown as offered to anyone. Now let's take a look at the bazaar again, now that there are a few more deals listed by Joel's teammates. We can actually see from our notifications at the top that we have a new shift offered directly to us from Dr. Evans. In this case, it's working kind of like a trade, so under My Current Deals, we can approve the night call shift offered to us if we know we can work that day. This will automatically update the new worker of this shift to Joel. In addition, we can look at the shifts available to everyone and decide that we want to pick up this on-call shift for Wednesday, January 19th. Clicking Take This Shift will automatically update the shift from being Dr. Smith to Dr. Joel. Note that some teams will require administrator approval for deals like this to happen, so you might have to wait for your admin to approve your deals before they go through and you see them updated in your calendar. Before we move to the mobile app, I'll give you a quick tour of your user settings. You can get to your settings via the drop-down beside your name in the right-hand corner or from the Settings tab above your calendar. The first page you'll see here will just be your basic information. You most likely have already filled this out. The second tabs control which notifications you receive from Mesh AI. Checking the first box will ensure you stay in the loop with the latest Mesh AI updates, features, and promotions. The second boxes will let you receive notifications when there is an update to your schedule, such as new shifts being published, a new assignment you have, or maybe new listed bazaar deals. You can also receive a weekly overview of your upcoming shifts and choose which day you would like to receive that email. Mobile push notifications can also be controlled from here in the Mobile Notifications tab. Other settings more or less speak for themselves, and you can reach out to a member of our team at any time if you have any questions about managing your own settings. Speaking of getting help, clicking on this blue button in the bottom right corner will open up the Mesh AI Help Center. Here, you can browse help articles to look for an answer to your question, or you can chat with a member of our support team directly. To do this, just hit the Send a New Message button. Once you have sent your question, you might be prompted with some suggestion articles that we think might answer your question. If you'd still rather speak to a human, however, just hang on until a member of our team can get back to you. Now that we've looked at the basics of our main web platform, I'll take you through our mobile app a bit. I'll be using the iOS app for this demonstration, but know that the Android app works exactly the same way. You can find our app by searching up Mesh AI in the App Store on your iOS device or in the Google Play Store on your Android device. The download links for both versions are also available on our website. Once you've installed the Mesh AI app, you will be prompted with a login screen on your first open. Here, you can just enter the username and password you created when you first accepted your invite to the system. Here we have Joel's information saved, so let's go ahead and log into the app as Joel. Note that you can set the app to remember your information so that you don't have to log in again each time you open the app. Just like the desktop version, the first thing you'll see when you log into the app is your schedule. Here we are seeing a condensed view of Joel's calendar. You'll see in the navigation bar at the top of the calendar that we can also swipe to Demo Team, the other team that Joel is a member of. While that organizational shift view we looked at can't be accessed directly from this calendar navigation, we can view a daily organizational overview by clicking More in the bottom navigation bar and then clicking on the Gold Bay Hospital organizational name. A few more things to note about your app calendar. You can scroll between months by swiping up and down. You can toggle between the full calendar and daily shift view using the toggle button in the top left corner. In daily view, you can see more details about each shift in the calendar. To view information about a single shift, simply tap on that shift. Or, if you're in your calendar view, you would tap on the day and then click on the shift that you wish to look at from there. To create a request in the app, tap the floating plus button in the bottom right corner. Then, click the Create Request option from there. From here, you'll just need to fill out the information you want registered for your request. Starting with the start and end date, let's create this one for a day at the end of February. Then, you will select your team name. Again, because Joel is only a member of one team, there's only one option here, but you might see more depending on your organization. Once you've selected your team, you will choose your request type, let's call this a require off, and you can add a note if you need to. That's it. Hit add request when you're ready, and then you're all set. Back in the calendar, we can also filter to what we see in our calendar view by clicking on the filter icon in the top right corner. Here the options are date labels, shifts, and requests. If you navigate to your team's calendar, you'll also see the option of filtering to specific members of your team or the save filters that we defined on the web. To view your Bazaar, navigate in the bottom navigation bar to the Bazaar tab. Here you'll see two tabs, Open Deals and My Deals. Open Deals represent the deals that have been offered to anyone, while My Deals represents the deals that you are actively a part of. This could mean a deal that you yourself listed in the Bazaar, or a deal that was offered directly to you. To make a deal in the app, start by navigating to the shift you wish to make a deal for by either clicking on the shift directly in your daily view or tapping on the day and then the shift from your calendar view. At the very bottom of the shift details window, you'll see the button to make a deal, just like on the web. Pressing that button will open up the new deal window. Here you have the same ability to offer the shift directly to another member of your team or leave it as offered to anyone. You can also add a note if you want. Once you're ready, hit offer and the deal will be listed in the Bazaar. Here we're just getting a warning that the deal will have to be approved by our admin before it will actually go through. Again, your team may or may not require admin approval for deals. It all depends on what your scheduling administrator has set for your group. Now if we head back to the Shift Bazaar, we'll see that the deal we just made is now listed in the Bazaar. It is listed under the My Deals tab because it is a deal that we have made. Finally, let's take a look back at the More section. By clicking on More in the bottom right of the navigation bar, we'll see a variety of options come up. As we know, clicking on your organization name, if you're a part of one, will show you the daily organizational view. You can edit your user settings by clicking User Settings. You can also visually change the teams list. This will just change the order in which your teams appear in your calendar. Clicking on the Help icon in your More section will open up the Mesh AI Support Center just as it did on the web. Here, you can browse our help articles or talk to one of our support agents directly. Either way, the Mesh AI team is always here to make sure all your questions are answered. Hopefully now you have a better idea of the ins and outs of using the Mesh AI system. On behalf of our entire team, welcome aboard. We're happy to have you. Happy scheduling!